Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to show you guys an ombre with 3D flowers, bling. I know I just did one similar to that, but it is always highly requested. And of course, I always get questions on the airbrush, and I love answering the questions. I love showing you guys the process. But yeah, so these are all of the colors that I'm using. I will have everything linked down below as well in case you missed the colors or the names or anything like that. So let's get into it. So really quick before I get started, this was the inspo pic. So sorry for my dirty messed up phone. I'm waiting to get a new one, but anyway, that was the inspo pic. I always try to get as close as possible to the inspo pic, but I do always tell customers and stuff that sometimes it will not look exactly the same, especially because that set of course was done with acrylic. I'm using gel only, but on this channel I really like to show you guys how we can recreate sets using gel only, no acrylic. So really quick, while I am applying these first coats, I just wanted to ask you guys, what other type of videos would you want to see? So far I've done a lot of watch me work type videos. I don't know if you guys would like more mini tutorials, shorter videos, things like that, or do you guys like the real time? I try really hard to show you guys like the entire process, because not every set is easy, not every set is quick, it's not perfect. In this set I actually messed up quite a few times, and I left that in here just so that you guys can see the process is not always perfect. I've done 3D flowers or 5D gel flowers several times and I still mess up a lot. So I just want to show you guys that process, but if you guys wanted like mini tutorials, let me know. I would love to do possibly some fall art, Halloween art, whatever's coming up, holiday stuff. Just let me know down below and then I will get those out to you. I'm trying really hard to have out a video each week for you guys. Also, I am wondering what's easier, to drop the videos on a Saturday or a Sunday. Let me know what you guys think, when you guys prefer to watch videos. So yeah, thank you guys. So this is just one coat. I love the white. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So I left the index finger blank because that's the finger that we're going to be doing the marble on, and I'm going to show you guys up close exactly how I did the marble. Another thing, when I do marble, I always do it different for some reason. I don't know, but I do have a marble video linked on how to get a acrylic looking marble using gel. I'm going to be doing kind of the same technique on these ones because there was the marble nail on that index finger and it's an ombre as well, so it was really fun to recreate. I honestly didn't like, at the beginning it didn't really seem like it was turning out the way I wanted it to, but then in the end, after I did the ombre and stuff, it looked so good. I was so happy. So I'm basically just gonna do 3 coats and then we'll get onto the marble and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the third coat sped up, and I'm probably gonna cut it off after like 2 nails just so I could show you guys the process of how I like to do them. So I flip the nail for the third coat and then go towards the tip. That's just my process. That's how I really enjoy doing polish. Everybody has their own way, but yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys my way, or how I like to do it, and then we will go ahead and get into the marble. Okay, so it is marble time. I am going to be using a pure white. I believe it's called winter white, and then clear. So it's going to be a pure white, a soft white, and then a clear. And then I am going to be using a brush. I believe it's my brush from Nail Couture. I will link that down below as well. And then I'm just basically going to be marbling. The fun thing about marbling is it's never gonna look the same, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can play with it as much as you want. You can add as little white, as little clear, however you want to do it. And I honestly didn't really even look at the picture when I did the marble, because I don't want it to look identical to that picture. I just want the marble to look like marble and look pretty and just kind of flow. So I'm gonna put down this top coat just so that way the marble kind of moves a little bit easier and flows. And then I am going to show you guys how I did it. And then really quick, I'm only going halfway because again, this is going to be an ombre nail. So I'm just taking it up about halfway, and then I'm kind of trying to like feather it a little bit towards the top. That way it's a little bit easier to blend, but so far it's looking super pretty. You could always add more clear if you wanted to, just to take away some of the harsher like lines, the hard white. Or you can leave it. I just play with it until I love it. And I'm so mad. This one was out of focus almost the whole time until I was almost done with it. So I just sped it up so that you guys could kind of just see how I did it really quick. And then as soon as it gets back into focus, I put it back into real time so that you guys can see what it's looking like. Okay, so now that we have the marbles done, we are gonna go into the French, and we are leaving the ombre for last because I have to get out my airbrush and get all of that set up. So I like to wait for that one until last. These Frenches, it was a classic French with like an outline above the French. you'll see when I do it. But these ones that always like so hard for me, or like intimidating I should say, just because I feel like the line has to be so perfect, so I get so nervous and so shaky. But in the end, like, it turns out so good. I was so happy. I did have to erase it a couple times, so you'll see that too, because if I'm not happy with it, that's one thing I will do, is I will just erase the whole thing and restart. I've done that so many times, even when I did acrylic nails and I used to take clients. If I was doing artwork or something and I didn't like it, I would literally erase it or take it off of the nail, and they would be so like shook that I restarted. But I was like, it just doesn't look how I wanted it to look. Like, I like stuff to look a specific way. So anyway, I'm gonna start. Each of the nude nails are Frenches, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys real time this entire hand, and then I will probably speed up the process on the other hand, or just take it out completely, so that way we're not sitting here for like 2 hours watching the process. But yeah, so this is basically how I do my classic Frenches. This brush is a two-sided brush, so this is the longer side, and then I have the shorter side on the other side. These are also available on my site. I personally love them. I've had this brush for months now, just like as a tester to try it out, and it has not done me wrong. I love it. I have not had to trim it, nothing like that. I do clean it after every single set so that it does stay nice. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna go from there and then just show you guys my process. Okay, so this is actually one of the ones that I end up erasing. Looking back at it now, like, it doesn't look bad, but I'm guessing when I like took it out of frame right here, I kept trying to fix it, and I think it just like didn't look how I wanted it to look. So I end up erasing it, redoing it, and then I will do the rest of them. But I'll go ahead and just let you guys watch, because I do want to keep this part in real time just so you guys can see, like, it's not always easy, it's not always perfect. These Frenches are very intimidating. It's always the new things, what's new out, whatever. Everybody wants it, and it's like they expect us to be able to do it. And even having like 3-4 years experience doing nails, you know, people are 15 years plus and still having trouble. So, you know, all I say is try your best, practice. If you don't feel like you can do it, you're not going to disappoint your customer. They're just going to be, you know, that much happier, I would think, that you're actually telling them that you can't do it. You're not going to stress yourself out or try to do something that you're not able to do. I have done that. If I don't think I can do something, or if it just looks hard, then I usually won't do it. I'll say I will do a practice nail, or I'll try it first before I will say that I'll do it. Other than that, like, I've never done something, I won't do. So yeah, so then I went back, I did this, and I'm guessing it looked a lot better in my eyes. So I'm just gonna keep it moving. Okay, so I forgot that I erased that one too. I don't know. I just get really picky when it comes to Frenches and outlines and things like that. So I'm gonna redo it. Okay, so now that we have finally finished the Frenches, it is time for the airbrush. I'm super excited just because I love to airbrush. I'm using this color, I'm blushing. It is one of my favorite colors to airbrush with. If you have not tried it, please try it. I promise you, you will love it. It is such a pretty color and it just like it blends so well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my mixture again. If you've watched my videos in the past or if you are new here, I'm just gonna say it again. I do not have a ratio. I kind of just pour the color, pour the acetone, mix it and go. When you airbrush frequently, you kind of learn what consistency the mixture needs to be. And I'm blushing is a pretty opaque color, so I need a little more acetone in there, and you always want your mixture to be more on the watery side. If you have to do more layers, then that's always fine. I would just suggest if you do it thicker, you can get like splatters or like it's not gonna look as seamless, it's not gonna blend as well. So always when you are making your mixture, just make sure that it is more watery. Airbrush does take time, so if you're not prepared to take, you know, an hour or however long it's gonna take you to get through those layers, then airbrush probably isn't for you. There's other ways you can do ombre as well. Like I know quite a few people do the sponge method. They do the ombre, like the brush method. I just prefer the airbrush because it is the most seamless that I have been able to do. And in my opinion, it is quicker just because you're airbrushing. But you do still have to do it in layers and cure in between each layer, which you will see. Okay, so this is one layer. As you guys can see, it's super light. The nude is not even looking like the other nudes on the other nails. So we're gonna have to do at least 3 to 4 coats. So you just gotta take it slow. You take it coat by coat, layer by layer, and just go with it. It's honestly, it's so fun. Once you learn how to airbrush, I promise you will never go back to another way, but it does take time. When I first started airbrushing, honestly, I did not like it at all. I felt like it took forever. I didn't want to clean the airbrush, but now that I do airbrush quite often, it's a lot easier to clean. It's easier to get through sets, and I know the consistency, I know what I'm doing. Like, it's just so much easier now, and I always look forward to doing airbrush nails now, especially because people request it so much, and it's so fun to do. so this is one coat. We are going to cure it, and then I'm going to go on to my second coat. I'm going to speed it up because you can watch it exactly the same. You're gonna see the exact, everything. It's just gonna be faster, which I wish in real life we could speed up like this. It would be so cool. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys watch, and then we will see how we're looking towards the end. Okay, 2 coats. I think I do 1 more coat just because if you can see the marble nail, you can still see that marble kind of peeking through the nude. So I'm gonna do 1 more coat, and then I'm gonna show you how at the very end of an ombre set, how I make all of the colors look exactly the same. Because when you're doing them individually like this, sometimes you may get a little more product on that nail and then a little less product on the next one. But at the very end, when I'm done, I'll show you guys how I get the ombre to look exactly the same on every single ombre nail. Okay, and this was the other hand or other set with the exact same amount of coats. So now I'm going to show you guys kind of how I make all of the ombre nails look the same. So really quick right here, what I'm doing is I'm kind of mixing it inside of the airbrush because I felt like it was getting a little clogged. Sometimes this happens when you're either midway or like a little more than halfway done. Well, midway is the same, but if you're like more than halfway done with the set, that will happen. And then this part right here, ow, I just hit my watch. This part right here will have a lot of like gel inside of it, and that can cause like not so much clogging, but it can cause the gel to kind of splatter as it goes. So I'm just gonna do I think this was like the last one. I don't really know what happened here, but I felt like it was getting clogged, and that's what I do every time is I will hold the airbrush onto the paper and kind of like not let the air out, so then it'll mix inside of the pot, and then I will go ahead and ombre finish up and then do what I have to do. Okay, so now that I'm happy with my blend, I moved all of the ombre nails onto one stand, and I have a little bit of the mixture left over. So what I'm gonna do, so that way none of the mixture goes to waste, is I'm going to airbrush them all together like this. So that way they all look the same, they all look the same color. I can see them side by side next to each other, and then that is how I get them to all look seamless. They all look exactly the same. I'm very happy with them, and that is it. Alrighty, the third step of these nails is the 3D flowers, and then lastly the bling. So for 3D flowers, I like to use this art gel. I will have it linked down below. I believe it came in a 6-pack and I got it from Amazon. It's awesome. I love it. So what I like to do is I will go back to the set or whatever I'm creating, and I will count how many beads each flower has. So for example, these flowers had 3 beads each, and there was 2 on each nail. So I'm gonna need 6 for each nail. And what I like to do, just to make it go by, like in my opinion it goes by a little quicker, is I like to get all of the beads out first, and then I will go ahead and create the flowers. I used to do one by one, but I noticed that it was just slowing me down, and to have to get each bead out every single time, it was just a process. Like getting the beads out already is kind of hard and tedious, and that's why I sped it up, so that way you guys don't have to sit here for so long. But it takes a while. So I like to do that in the beginning, and then just have all of my beads out and ready to go, and then I will get ready to start putting them on the nail. So I like to have alcohol close always, just to clean my silicone tool, because when you have alcohol on the silicone tool as well, it helps the beads stick better, and then it also helps the beads stick to the nail, and it makes the beads a lot easier to work with. So always have alcohol, whether it's in liquid form, the prep pad form, however you need it. It works for me. So another thing with these flowers, I was not happy with this first flower right here. I got to the 3rd bead and I took them all off and I restarted. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch that. Okay, so let's restart. So basically I didn't like it because the middle bead, I put it too far like towards the cuticle, so it wasn't really looking like a flower, if that makes sense. So as you can see right here, I'm using a bigger bead and it's like down towards the center a little bit more, and then the other two beads are up more towards the cuticle, and that kind of is, it's already looking more like a flower. So yeah, so I just didn't like it. I took it off, I redid it. I was a lot happier with this one and it all flowed perfectly. So yes, I was very happy with this flower.